I was furious with myself for being so naive, for giving him the benefit of the doubt when all the signs were there. I had seen the red flags, but I had chosen to ignore them, convincing myself that he was different, that he was special. But I had been wrong, and now I was paying the price. Perhaps Nathan and Tristan were the better options, with their brutal honesty and straightforward behaviors. I wondered if I had made a mistake, if I had been blinded by my own desires. I looked at him, my eyes brimming with tears. "Why are you doing this?" I asked, my voice trembling. "Did you just use me to get back at my pack? Or was this all just a game to you?" I searched his face for any sign of remorse, any sign that he cared about me at all. But all I saw was a cold expression, the look of a man with no emotions. It was as if he was completely devoid of feeling. "I thought you said you believed me, that you trusted me." He turned to me and said, "Don't bother asking any further questions. You're hurting my ears with your constant nagging." "You think I'm nagging?" I asked in disbelief. "How dare you? I was only trying to help you, to make things right, and all you can do is insult me and act like I'm a nuisance. How can you be so cold and heartless?" He looked at me, his expression hard and unyielding. "You're wasting my time with this," he said, his voice low and dangerous. "I don't have to listen to you, and I don't want to." The tone of my voice had already become low as my spirit weakened. "Why did you feel it was okay to play me? I've been nothing but good to you, and everybody knows that. Your attitude is getting me fed up with everything. It's become pretty tiring," he lashed out before pushing me away and leaving. He didn't even look at me, and I just stood there, the words stuck in my throat, as he continued to walk away. And then, I finally realized the utter and complete indifference he felt towards me. He didn't care about me, not even in the slightest. "I can't believe this is happening," I said, tears stinging my eyes. I looked down at my hands, feeling the anger and sadness swirling inside me. "I can't believe he would do this to me." "I know this is difficult," Blair finally spoke up, her voice soothing. "But don't forget that you are strong, and you don't need him to be happy. I think it's high time that I ended this once and for all. I have given him countless chances, but he keeps making a fool out of me," I stated. "I want to reject him, Blair." "You can't and you won't," she countered. "I wasn't asking," I retorted. "Whose side are you on? Are you enjoying the way she toys with our emotions? If you are, then I would humbly request from the goddess to separate you from my body because I'm done with him. But we can't just keep rejecting everyone who hurts us," my wolf uttered with a serious tone. "We need to learn to control our emotions without lashing out and cutting people off. Otherwise, we'll just end up alone and isolated. I don't care anymore, Blair. It seems like the more I hold on to people, the more they tend to pull away. Harold doesn't deserve me, and his time in my life is up for good." "But he's not the only person in your life," my wolf said, her voice pleading. "There are so many people who care about you, who want to be there for you. You can't let your anger at him control you and ruin your relationships with everyone else. Stop feeding into my delusions because there's nobody in the academy or my pack that actually cares if I'm still breathing," I argued. "You still have 2 mates. You know that, right?" "Yeah, and I pushed them away because of Harold, and they would never take me back unless he wants to have his revenge. I just don't know how to let go of this," I told her, my tone weak. "I don't know how to move on. You need to give yourself some time," my wolf said, her tone gentle. "You've been through a lot, and it's okay to feel hurt and angry, but you can't let that consume you. You need to focus on yourself, on taking care of yourself and healing. You need to take some time to breathe and find some peace." I knew she was right, but I still felt so lost and alone. "I don't know how to do that," I said, my voice cracking. "Besides, if I was to reject Harold, I would fall very ill in the following day, and I would be left to take care of myself, as the boys couldn't be trusted." "Nathan." Tristan called out his name to announce their presence, just when I was yet to recover from the heartbreak. "Yeah. Looks like our favorite celebrity couple has called it quits," Tristan quipped, his tone full of mischief. I turned to face him, and he was wearing a sly grin. "Oh, please," I scoffed, trying to hide my irritation. "If you are here to rub salt on my wounds, then fuck off." Nathan completely ignored my warning and went ahead to spew rubbish as usual. We all knew that it wouldn't last. Harold doesn't stick with anyone for long, and Alexia was just his latest conquest. She was always just a temporary fix for him. "You're right," Nathan said, winking at me. "I'm just surprised she didn't see it coming. Can't believe she actually thought that Harold was interested in her," Tristan said, shaking his head. Nathan nodded, a smirk on his face. "She's such a hopeless romantic," he said. "She sees the world through rose-colored glasses, and it's going to get her into trouble someday. We told you from the beginning that he wasn't good for you," Tristan said, his tone snide. "But you wouldn't listen. You just had to have her Prince Charming, even though he was nothing but a wolf in sheep's clothing. Literally," Tristan muttered under his breath. Nathan snorted, clearly amused. "I offered you something real, but you chose the fake version over us. What about the moments that we had at my pack? Did his love also wipe that out of your memory? You really are a foolish girl." I could feel my blood boiling, and I could barely contain my anger. They were mocking me, making me out to be some kind of lovesick fool. "You two are such hypocrites," I said, my voice trembling with annoyance and hurt. "You talk about being real and genuine, but you're just as fake as Harold. You only care about yourself, and you don't care who you hurt in the process." My words hit them like a slap in the face, and they both looked taken aback. But I wasn't done yet. "You act like you're better than everyone else. But you're just as shallow and petty as the rest of them," I continued, the words pouring out of me. "You criticize me for being too trusting, but at least I'm honest about who I am. I'm not out there playing games and manipulating people. I'm a genuine person, and I'm proud of that. And you, Nathan," I said, my tone full of disgust. "You're so controlling and manipulative. You act like you're looking out for me, but you're just trying to make me do what you want. You don't care about me. You just want to possess me. You're just as toxic as Harold." I turned to Tristan, my gaze full of disdain. "And you," I said, my tone biting. "You think you're so clever playing all your little games, but you're just a shallow, selfish playboy. You both make me sick," I continued. "You're just like all the other men at this school, only interested in yourself and what you can get out of people. You're not real friends or even mates, and you're not worth my time." I could feel tears gathering up in my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. I was bent on standing my ground to make them see how wrong they were. "You know what, Alexia," Tristan said, his voice cold and hard. "Maybe you're right. Maybe we are all those things you said, but we're not the only ones at fault here. You're not perfect either, you know." I placed my hand in front of him to shun him before turning around to leave because I had one thing and person on my mind and I was going to get exactly what I wanted today. As I kept walking, my wolf whined, feeling overwhelmed by sadness and the fear of rejection. She didn't understand why Harold had done this to us, what his purpose was. We'd been so happy together, and now everything was in ruins. I got back to the room and waited for close to an eternity before he finally showed up. Immediately, I sprung to my feet and rushed towards him with a pleading voice. "Can you at least speak to me? Did I hurt you when I lost control of my powers? I have so many questions, and your silence is driving me nuts. I know this isn't you, so please stop." I tried to reach for his shoulders, but he brushed my hand off. "The Harold you knew is no longer here," he uttered with a flat and emotionless tone. "I'm gone. Just leave," he ordered me. "I'm not moving an inch, Harold, until you tell me everything." I refused with folded arms across my chest. Deep down, I was just his puppet, being pulled back and forth because I had chosen to love and trust him. "Get her out, Tristan," Harold said, his voice firm and resolute. "I can't deal with this. I can't have her here. She needs to leave." Before Tristan could get to me, I fired Harold with a question. "Why did you take those pictures?" "For fuck's sake, I told you before that I don't know what you're talking about," he retorted. "Stop acting like you suffered from amnesia and answer me," I yelled at him, not caring of our rank difference any longer. In the midst of it, Tristan inquired with a concerned and confused voice. "What is this all about? What pictures?" "I honestly don't know, man. This bitch has gone crazy. Just take her out." I gasped in shock, and my eyes widened in disbelief. "Did you just call me a bitch? Bro, leave me the fuck alone. I didn't take any pictures of that file. What more do you want from me? My blood? Have you suddenly become a hybrid now?" "I know what I saw," I said, my words punctuated with anger and frustration. "I'm not going to let you deny it. You can't just pretend it didn't happen." He just shrugged, refusing to acknowledge my accusations. "I'm not pretending anything," he said, his tone dismissive. "You're just making things up. You're making a mountain out of a molehill." Tristan looked at me, his brow furrowed in confusion once again. He scratched his head, clearly struggling to grasp the situation. "Lexi, what file are you talking about? What's going on? Can someone pull me out of the dark already?" His tone was beginning to sound frustrated. I took a deep breath, trying to keep my annoyance in check as I was also in the same situation as Tristan. "That question of yours should be directed to because I need fucking answers. Harold, you have 5 seconds to answer me," I demanded through gritted teeth. "What is in there?" He narrowed his eyes at me with contempt and said, "You really want to know? I'll tell you then so you can leave me the fuck alone." He went ahead and confessed that it was about his mother's case, information, and my pack. "It's something your alpha has concealed for far too long, and it's time for the truth to come into the light," he said in conclusion. In a state of disbelief, I retreated in my steps, a bitter chuckle escaping my lips as I shook my head slowly and said, "Wait, let me get this straight. You have been using me all along." In the depths of my heart, I yearned for him to say no, or at least deny it, if he ever truly loved me. Call me foolish, but in that moment, I'd have preferred to believe a comforting lie over a painful truth. Harold may have loved me, but he was still trapped in denial. "It took you so long to figure that out, huh?" he responded, accompanied by a mocking scoff. "For someone who is so smart, you're quite the fool for love. The signs were there, but you chose to ignore them." He paused, his cold eyes mirroring his heart. "Out of all the mates you could have had," he sneered, "you chose me, and you actually believed that I would do the same? You clearly have no idea the kind of girls I've had in my life." My chest hitched while I forced myself to maintain eye contact as he went on with his hurtful words, my heart paying the price for being a hopeless romantic. "You were just another convenient distraction, a means to an end in my game," he continued, his voice laced with disdain. "And damn it, his taunts slowly tore me apart, and it took every strength within not to burst into hot tears of sorrow. Your stubbornness and naivety were just the icing on the cake," he sneered, his voice cold and dead. "You actually thought that you could change me?" he shouted, his anger flaring. "No woman can, especially not the girl from a pack that killed my parents." I flinched back in fear over his outburst, and I bit my lips to keep them from trembling further. The reality that he might have locked up his heart in a box kicked in. I have been a tool to unlock the room so he could succeed. The flashbacks of how I drained all my powers just to please him gushed in, and it heightened my anguish. With my fingers shaking, I pointed at him, my voice breaking as I stuttered, "I trusted you." His cold, unfeeling expression was like a painful scar to my chest, evidence of how I had foolishly invested my time, love, and trust in a man who had never deserved any of it. I had once believed that Zachary was the worst, but now I was faced with the true prince of evil. It only left me with the conclusion that I had somehow wronged the goddess in a previous life to deserve this kind of punishment. Hadn't I already suffered enough? Why did my vulnerability have to be repaid with such heartache? "I gave you everything, Harold, even when you made it clear I shouldn't," I said, my voice quivering with hurt. But instead of any remorse, he erupted into wicked, uncontrollable laughter. I shot him a withering glare, secretly wishing the ground would open up and swallow him whole. "Prost," he mocked. "Didn't your parents ever teach you that alphas and omegas can never be mated?" His words cut deep, and I winced at the truth in them. He didn't stop there, though. His bitterness continued to pour out. "Or perhaps you've forgotten that some deeds like murder can never be forgiven." He paused, a cruel smile tugging at his lips. "Oh wait, I completely forgot. You're an orphan. Gosh, how on earth did I fall in love with him? I'd always heard the rumors about quiet people being the most dangerous, but I never truly believed him. I certainly hadn't expected him to be one of them. Just when I thought we had built something beautiful and I could predict his next move, he proved me wrong, shedding his facade like a snake changing its skin. It left me questioning everything I had once believed about him. I cursed the day that we crossed paths. I uttered it with a heavy heart. He countered me immediately, his lips curling into a smirka euro, the same ones that had kissed me 1,000 times. I blessed that day because I wouldn't have been able to take my pound of flesh. A strong urge to slap him took a toll on me, to make him understand the agony of being shattered from the inside over a crime I had no part in, and for the false promises he had carelessly made. He had been a grand master of deceit, and I was a naive victim of his manipulative allure. But before I could act on my impulse, Tristan intervened, his strong grip on my arm urging me to restrain myself. His eyes pleaded with me to let it go and not give Harold the satisfaction of witnessing my further descent into despair. "He's not worth it," he whispered. Harold, however, issued a chilling warning that sent shivers down my spine. "Don't even think about it," he sneered, his tone laced with menace. "Because I'll remind you why I'm the most feared alpha in this school." In that moment, Harold pushed me away and walked off, leaving me standing there, broken and in tears. My heartache felt unbearable, and I turned to Tristan, seeking comfort in his arms. But when I reached out to him, he too pushed me away, his expression firm. "I can't keep doing this, Lexi," he said, his tone strained. "I can't always be the one to pick up the pieces every time he hurts you." I watched as he turned and walked away, leaving me in the cold embrace of loneliness. In despair, I sank to the ground, my head buried in my knees, as I sobbed till my last strength. Nathan returned to the room, engrossed in a conversation with Jesse over the phone. "When will you be back? You know I hate it when you have to make me wait," he inquired, his voice dripping with desire. I could hear her giggling and responding, but I couldn't bear to listen further, so I quickly disconnected the call to spare myself any more distress. However, Nathan and Tristan just couldn't resist making mocking comments. Their words were clearly directed at me. "Now you see the difference between jewelry and trash, huh?" Nathan quipped with a wicked grin on his face. Tristan chimed in with sarcasm. "Oh, indeed, quite an eye-opener, isn't it?" My face flushed, and I bowed my head in humiliation with a sluggish heartbeat. But as if he still cared about my feelings, he intervened with a commanding voice. "That's enough," Harold declared. "We have more important matters to discuss. Let the Omega be." I tried to ignore their hurtful remarks, but they still stung. Unable to take it any longer, I quickly left the room and headed for the rooftop, hoping to find some peace. However, as I neared the rooftop, I spotted Mr. White outside. Realizing I couldn't face him in my current state, I made a quick about-face and decided to hide in the bathroom instead. Today is definitely not my day, I thought to myself. I grabbed a couple of books as an excuse and locked myself in the bathroom, hoping to find a moment of refuge with my wolf. I clenched my fists, the urge to reject them all burning within me. "Blair, this is the time to finally get rid of them like you had advised." Her voice in my mind was steadfast. "No, Lexi, it might seem like the best decision, but it is not in this situation, so we can't do that." She refused. "And why is that?" "We need to become more powerful, and rejecting them won't make us stronger," she pointed out. I pondered my tangled relationships with my friends and couldn't help but voice my concerns to Blair. Everything has always been a mess with them, and I am starting to think of transferring out of this place. I don't want you to give up. Instead, focus on mastering your power. Channel all the resentment, hurt, and betrayal into your abilities. I promise you, you'll become that Omega warrior that nobody dares to speak against," she replied. Despite her assurance, there was a future problem that plagued my mind: the inevitable return to Zachary once my time at the academy was over. Hell was nothing compared to the past few days that I had been with them. The whole time, they mocked me and ignored me like I was just a nobody. I was already used to it if it came from Nathan and Tristan, but Harold? He made it so much worse, from the constant cold glare to acting like I was invisible. I hated the fact that I always had to beg for his attention. He willingly gave it to my sister, but to me, it was a big deal. Those words? They were yet to leave my head every night. They kept ringing, causing me to cry. "If you want to sob, do it in the hallway and stop making my ears ache," Nathan would say with a tinge of irritation. "I want to have a good night rest, so shut it." Tristan supported and even pressed a pillow against my face. Sometimes, I tried to instigate a conversation and even attempted to do their assignments, but they rudely declined. All I wanted was for them to see me as their friend, their equal. It was clear that they would never give me the respect I deserved. And the worst part was that I had no idea what I had done to deserve their animosity. I couldn't pinpoint the moment when everything had gone wrong. I was at a crossroads, and I didn't know which path to take. Should I try to fight back, or should I give up and let them win? I felt like I was losing myself, bit by bit. "You'll be fine," Blair kept telling me, but I doubt that. It was as if I was cursed never to experience happiness. At the time, I thought Harold was that guy. He would love, care, and protect me, but it was all a game which he played so well that I ended up looking like a clown in front of them. Could have been better if I wasn't granted mates at all. As I was in my bed, trying to ease my mind from jumbled thoughts, the door pushed open and there she was. The bitch was back and I had mixed emotions about it. If I could wipe her from the face of the earth, I would, because I hated to constantly stare back at my tormentor. "Hey, sexy," Nathan greeted as soon as he stepped out of the bathroom, water dripping down his hot body. Her eyes darted to me and back to him. It didn't take me to put it together that she was about to do something to spite me. Instead of hanging around to witness a sight that would ruin my mood, it was best to give the horny people some space. I gathered all my strength and slipped out of the room as quietly as I could. The last thing I wanted was to make a spectacle of myself, especially when it was already clear that I wasn't wanted. I sat alone in the study, my heart heavy with sadness and disappointment. I couldn't believe that this was how my life had turned out. I had dreamed of being part of a pack that would love and accept me, but that dream had crumbled into dust. As the hours ticked by, I tried to think of ways to escape this hellish place. Looking for information about the special breed was all I cared about. Love was just an illusion, and even if it was, not all of us was meant to love and be loved. I was learning to accept that. After spending hours in the library, I couldn't find anything, and it felt as if there was no single history about my kind. Why couldn't my life just be so normal like everybody else? "This library is too big for you to finish searching in a day, okay? Just get some rest and continue tomorrow," Blair advised. With a frustrated sigh, I returned the books to their various shelves and walked out of the library, regretting every footstep as I made my way back to the room. At this point, I had no problem sleeping in the hallway because it was much better than being with those bullies. As I rounded the corner, I came face to face with Jesse and Nathan, intensely making out. Like, "Get a room and stop being disgusting." Sensing my presence, they stopped, and I could tell that my face had already twisted up with disdain. Jessie shot me a cold glare and then barked like a bitch that she was. "And what are you staring at? Get going before I pounce on you." If she thought that she could bully me after the last time, then joke's on her, because I was always ready to abuse my powers. "I left the room for the sake of peace, but it seems you have a thing for public display of your rubbish affection," I retorted, pushing her buttons. She marched forward to me and I didn't flinch a bit. "Repeat what you just said, you twat," she spat. My blood was boiling, but I refused to back down. "I said what I said, and it's quite frankly disgusting. You're both acting like animals, and it's not appropriate. There are other people in this school who don't want to see that." Jessie's face turned bright red with anger, and I could tell she was about to explode. Nathan, on the other hand, seemed amused by the whole thing. He stepped between us, a smirk on his face. "Jealous much? Over who and what? This thing?" I asked, and she threw her hand in the air to slap me, but Nathan caught it. "Don't let her get under your skin, baby. She knows what she is doing," he stated. "Misery loves company, considering that she has been abandoned by almost everyone." Those bitter words slipped out of his mouth, causing my eyes to be glassy. "Now listen, don't you ever try to speak to her again in that manner. I'll let this slide because I'm in a good mood, but next time, bet that there will be punishment," he warned me. I rolled my eyes and sneered. "Yeah, right, like shoving your filthy, thorny intrusion into my softest, most guarded nook." He heard me and I liked that. "Go," he ordered, his jaw clenched, but I could give two fucks about him or his whore. Casting them a dirty look, I left them behind and went straight to the cafeteria since it was already lunchtime. As soon as I stepped in, all eyes fell on me and they started whispering amongst themselves. Of course, they were going to utter vile words against me, but it was just another day with these people. What was I expecting? Good and innocent people weren't meant to be in the academy except me, who was a victim. I grabbed my food and sat at an empty table in the corner, trying to avoid eye contact with anyone. But it was no use. I could feel their stares burning into me, and it made me want to shrink away into nothingness. From the corner of my eyes, I saw Jessie, Nathan, Tristan, and her thugs settling into a table which wasn't so far from mine. A part of me wanted to stand and leave so I could eat in my room, but it would make appear as a coward, which I wasn't. For over 5 minutes, Jessie kept throwing glances at me and it made my skin crawl. Gosh, I hated her, but it was nothing compared to the disdain that I had for Zachary. He was the genesis of my problem and all I did was love him. As I munched into my food, a presence stood before me and I lifted my head to find Tristan. What did he want now? They probably sent him to ridicule me because he would never do something out of goodwill, being a prankster. Without seeking permission, he dropped his ass right next to me. I didn't tell you that you could sit, I pointed out. Look, I'm not here to cause any trouble. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I know things have been rough lately, he began, acting as if his words were so sincere. Pathetic. Why do you care? I asked, a hint of suspicion in my voice. You've never cared before. Tristan shifted uncomfortably, and I could tell he was struggling to find the right words. I know I haven't always been the nicest to you. I'm sorry for how I've treated you in the past. Right now, I just want to be there for you. Nobody deserves to be alone, he added. If I didn't know better, I would have fallen for the lie, but this was Tristan. He would make you comfortable and then crush you. Harold was still a learner in this game. The only difference was his slow poison. I don't have the time for this right now. Please go. I told him with a polite tone so he wouldn't get the wrong message out of it. But I don't want to. He refused. Well, you have to because I don't want your energy around me. It's toxic, so go and be with your kind. I blurted out. Tristan's face scrunched up, and I knew that he was about to be brutal with his words. You know what? I don't even care. I was just trying to be nice. But you're obviously not interested. Have fun being alone and miserable, because that's what you deserve. Thank you, and I definitely will. My response infuriated him further as he cursed me more. You're a stubborn, ungrateful, arrogant little brat, he hissed. Do you really think you're better than everyone else? You're just a pathetic wannabe, and you'll never amount to anything. My stomach clenched as the harsh words hit me. Why don't you just go back to your little world of pretend, where you can be a princess and everyone treats you like you're special, Tristan continued, a sneer on his face. Because here in the real world, you're nothing but a worthless pest. I felt like he'd hit me. I couldn't breathe, my chest tightening with every word he said. You're a joke, he continued. You're a stupid, and possessed. He chest and chen possessed. Pathetic girl with no friends and no life. You're worthless, and no one will ever love you. Tristan continued, his voice filled with malice. No one will ever care about you or want you around. You're just an annoyance, a waste of space. The words stung, but I refused to show him how much they hurt. I met his gaze, unflinching, my eyes hard. I would not let him see me break. I was stronger than that. Tristan's expression changed, and I could see that he was frustrated. He wanted to get a reaction out of me. But then a smirk crossed his face as if he had gathered the next statement that would finish me off. And that's exactly why you'll rot in this academy, because the king won't release you. Even if he does, you'll die rejected and mateless. There won't be any happy ending for you, and if at all, you might end up with Mr. White, who should have gotten away with the punishment that he was about to give you. The rage bottled up within me was pushing me to my limits, and I couldn't suppress it anymore. Without thinking, I flung my juice at his face, the liquid splashing onto his shocked expression. But his look of surprise was quickly replaced with a dark, threatening glare. I could tell that he was about to snap, and I was ready to give him back the same energy. He yelled at my face, gripping my arms and squeezing them tightly. What the actual fuck? Let go of me, you bastard! I barked, shining my eyes at him so he would realize that I wasn't scared of him at all. You do have some guts insulting me in front of everyone. I'll teach you a lesson. Releasing me from his grip, I stumbled backwards and he was quick to lift his hand in the air to hit me, but just as he was about to, Nathan intervened. Bro, don't do it, he advised calmly. But Tristan was too furious to pay attention to him as he charged towards me. I've had enough of your stinky attitude. Tristan! Nathan pulled him back as he roared his name with authority. What is your problem? Nathan's voice was stern, leaving no room for argument. I understand that she annoyed you, but you can't go around hitting Omegas. Do you understand? Tristan's eyes flickered with anger as he glowered at me. You just wait until I get you alone, Omega. I'll teach you to respect your superiors. But before he could continue with his threats, Nathan's hand clamped tightly onto his shoulder. Enough, Tristan. The warning in Nathan's voice seemed to reach Tristan, and he fell silent, though his eyes still blazed with rage. I'm warning you, Nathan said quietly. Don't start something you can't finish. There are consequences to attacking an Omega, and you know what they are. Tristan's fists clenched, but he gave a curt nod, and I knew he was backing down. Still, I couldn't help but feel unsettled. I knew he was going to make me pay for this somehow. Nathan turned to me, his expression hardening. Leave. You don't need to tell me twice, I mumbled, brushing past them. I rushed out of the cafeteria and headed straight for the woods, desperately trying to escape from Tristan and his wrath. I couldn't help but feel a sense of dread as I realized that he had become my enemy, and that he would never let up until he had made my life miserable. The trees closed in around me as I ran deeper into the woods, my heart racing with fear. I tried to keep a calm head, but my thoughts were spinning out of control, my mind filled with the terrible possibilities of what Tristan might do to me. As I came to a stop, I leaned against a tree, trying to catch my breath. My head was swimming with fear and anxiety, and I felt like I was about to collapse. The thought of Tristan's threats kept running through my mind, and I began to panic. I sank to the ground, my body shaking with fear. I need to get out of here, I whispered to myself. I knew that I had to leave, to get away from this place and its tormentors. But the big question still remained: how? I was still stuck in that terrifying academy with a few more years to go, and there was no way that I would be begging at the mercy of Zachary. If I spent an extra week with the boys, then my anger issues would make me abuse my powers, and I didn't want that. Running away from your problems only makes you weak, Lexi. You either have to face them or bow down to defeat, she advised me. You make it sound so easy, I countered, hiding the irritation in my voice. Sometimes I wished we could exchange bodies, you know. You could be human and I'll be a wolf for a week. Let's see how well you handle the situation. I added a mix of bitterness and annoyance in my tone. But you know that the problem isn't me, right? Even if that was possible, you would still get us into trouble with your terrible mindset. Nobody wants a weakling or a miserable person around, she remarked. Wow, just wow. Even Blair had turned her back against me. How did I not see that coming? Her words stung, and I wanted to lash out. But then I remembered what she had said about anger making me weak. I needed to learn to control my emotions and not let them control me. I took a deep breath and looked up at the clouds. What do you suggest I do? I asked, trying to keep my voice calm. Need to take a different approach, she replied. Instead of allowing your anger to control you, you need to use it in a positive way. You need to be assertive, to stand up. You need to show them that you won't be walked all over. You need to show them that you won't be intimidated or afraid, she continued. And the only way to do that is to face them head on. But you can't just act rashly. You need to be strategic, to think about your actions and words before you speak. Her words made sense, but I wasn't sure if I had the strength to do what she was suggesting. I had always been a bit of a hothead, and I didn't know if I could control my emotions the way. I don't think I can do it, I plainly stated. Excuses? It's the truth, I fired back at her. That's the lie you always tell yourself to sleep at night. You blame everybody for your problems aside yourself, she shouted. If only you can realize that you have the ability and power to turn your story around, then you won't be sulking. Aren't you tired of the lies, cheating, and disrespect? It's demeaning to you and me as well. If only you had listened to me when I chose Nathan as a mate instead of that jerk you call Harold, then we won't be in this situation, she lashed out. Her statement infuriated me that I had to clap back. You think that this is all my fault? I demanded. I don't think you understand how hard it is for me. I didn't ask for any of this. She paused as if considering her response. I know it's not easy, she said finally, her voice softer than before. But the only way to change things is to take responsibility for yourself. I cut her short before she could go on with her nonsense. Enough, Blair, I've heard your words 1,000 times. Yet you refuse to listen, she barked. Your stubbornness is literally the cause of your downfall. How do you not see that? Stop playing the victim and get back in the game. Just shut up. I'm tired of your lectures, okay? I need real solutions, not words of encouragement, and if you won't offer that, then it is best to keep your lips zipped. I warned her. I was shocked when my wolf disconnected the link. She had never done that before, and I wasn't sure how to feel about it. I knew she was probably upset with me, but I couldn't help the way I felt. I was just so frustrated with my situation, and I needed some real solutions, not platitudes. As I sat there, alone with my thoughts, I began to feel a sense of regret. Maybe I had been too harsh with my wolf. She had only been trying to help, after all. Maybe I could have handled the situation better. I missed the connection with my wolf. The emptiness of being without her was more than I could bear. I reached out, seeking to re-establish the link, but I wasn't sure if she would allow it. She didn't say anything, but I knew she was there. Before I could say anything to my wolf, I heard the crunch of footsteps approaching. I tensed, instinctively recognizing the scent of Tristan. He had found me, and just like that, he was on top of me, pinning me against the tree. I struggled to break free, but his grip was too strong. "Get off of me," I growled. "Not until you learn your place, Omega," he snarled, his breath hot on my neck. Can a girl have a moment to herself without those douchebags interrupting? "All of a sudden, you stopped referring to me by my nickname, huh?" I questioned, staring back at him. His lips curled into a smirk. "You look so pretty when mad. Is that why you keep on provoking me?" Tilting his head to the side, he licked his lips and his eyes fell on mine. "Yeah, it turns me on," he whispered. My face twisted with disgust and I fought the urge to spit at his face. "You're sick, and the doctor says you're my drug. Stop flirting with me," I warned him, still struggling to escape. "Why? You're my mate and I can do whatever I want with you," he groaned, his hands trailing down to my waist. Shivers ran down my spine and a warm, restless current unfurled low in my belly. "You're just as toxic as I am, Lexi." Squinting my eyes at him, I countered. "No, I am not." "Yes, you are," he argued. "If you weren't, then you wouldn't be this stirred up. I can smell you." Quickly, I denied. "Maybe there's some other she-wolf in the woods who wants you, not me." Rolling his eyes, he responded, "And I don't care about that. All I care about is my little one." He leaned in closer and brushed his lips against my neck, causing the hair on my skin to stand as I bit back a moan. "Stop. Stop what?" He feigned innocence. "Touching me? But you know it's so hard for me to do that," he whispered, sucking my neck gently. "You smell so good, baby. I want to taste you." Now he was getting on my nerves. How could he just show up and instead of offering an apology, he was trying to seduce me? "That's not going to happen," I declared. "We both know you want this," he countered, lifting my chin to look into his eyes. "Tell me that you don't want me to tear away this layer between us, to press my lips to the soft curves only I should touch. That you don't want me to trace every secret part of you, to taste the honeyed warmth that calls to me. To pull you so close there's no space left between us. To lose myself in you until the world fades and only we remain." I swallowed the bitter truth. I wanted him, but my desires could never surpass my self-respect. I didn't only need him. My body ached for all three of them. For Tristan's hands exploring the soft curves of me, for Harold's lips tracing the most intimate places until I gasped, for Nathan's rough, hungry kiss that claimed my breath completely. "Do you think I'm some cheap thing that would crave all that after the hurt you put me through? What exactly do you take me for?" I bellowed, my rage surging back through my veins. If he thought that he would have me so easily, then there was no difference between him and a clown. "You care so much about love. Why should that matter? The goddess gave you all three of us so you could have fun," he remarked, covering the gap between us as his hard chest pressed against mine. His hand found its way under my blouse as he gently squeezed them. "They are so soft and tender. You want my tongue on them?" he asked politely, like he wasn't going to do it anyways. When I didn't respond immediately, he folded my blouse up and bent down, his lips closing over the soft peak of my chest. I moaned slightly, trying to push him off. "Tristan, please stop. I don't want this." My plea fell on deaf ears as he pressed hard with his lips, nipping and kneading the left peak. It felt so good that a warm dampness seeped through the fabric of my underwear. He groaned against my chest, his tongue swirling over the taut peak while he pinched the other. I regained my senses and screamed his name. "Tristan!" "Okay, fine." He stopped, but he still couldn't keep his eyes off them. Licking his lips with lust, he whispered, "Damn, Lexi. You're so naughty yet so innocent." "Is this what Harold has been enjoying all to himself?" he inquired. couldn't even remember if Harold and I had been this intimate before. All I know was that we shared a kiss and a facade of love. Can you stop for 1 second and think about my feelings, Tristan? My voice was shaking as tears gathered in my eyes. I don't like the way you treat me, a Euro. I broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. Why are you even doing this to me? I cried. What have I done to deserve this? I trusted you all, and you betrayed me. You've made me feel so stupid, so vulnerable. I just don't understand. As I sobbed, memories of the time I had spent in their various packs flashed through my mind. There had been good times, times when we had laughed and played together. But all of that seemed so far away now. I could only see Tristan's face, full of hatred and scorn. You're such a jerk, I said, the words coming out in a broken whisper. You've always been a jerk, ever since I met you. You act like you're so much better than everyone else, but you're not. You're just a bully. Tristan stared at me, his eyes full of anger. I'm not a bully, he spat. I'm just being honest. I don't sugarcoat things, and I don't play nice. You're an Omega, and you need to accept that. I don't have to accept anything, I yelled, my voice growing louder. You don't get to decide who I am or what I'm worth. I'm not going to let you push me around or make me feel like I'm less than you. Tristan's expression turned cold and hard. You don't get to tell me what to do, he said. You're an Omega, and I'm an Alpha. That means I'm in charge, not you. That still doesn't give you the right to dictate my life, I said, my voice shaking with anger. I have just as much right to live my life as you do. Tristan took a step towards me, and I braced myself for whatever was coming next. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, my adrenaline racing. I wasn't sure if he was going to hit me, but I was ready to fight back if he did. I wasn't going to let him push me around. Then, to my surprise, Tristan turned and walked away, without another word. I stood there, stunned, as he disappeared into the woods. I wasn't sure what to do next. A part of me wanted to follow him, to demand an explanation. But another part of me wanted to just leave, to go back to my room and forget about this whole mess. I knew I couldn't run away from my problems, but I was exhausted and overwhelmed. I just wanted to go somewhere quiet and think. Slowly, I turned and began to walk after him, back to the academy. When I finally caught up with him, I repeated my question again, and I could have swore that I saw the guilt in his eyes, but they vanished as it came. You slapped me in front of everyone, Lexi. That's unforgivable, he reminded me. You were the one who decided to insult and mock me first. What were you expecting? I fired back. I was only joking around, he said, a smirk playing on his lips. I didn't mean to upset you. You have to learn to take a joke. I don't find any of that funny, I said through gritted teeth. It's not a joke if the only person laughing is you. You're just too sensitive, he replied, rolling his eyes. I thought you were tougher than that. Do you know why I prefer Harold to both of you? He knows when to speak, unlike your mouth that just keeps running without a pause, I added, making sure that he would be infuriated by the comparison. He bristled at the comparison. Harold? He scoffed. He's a spineless wimp who followed you around like a lost puppy because he wanted something. He's nothing compared to me. He's far more mature than you, I stated, my voice rising in volume. He was respectful at some point, and he doesn't insult people. He's a far better person than you are. My words hit their mark, and I saw a flash of anger in his eyes. He opened his mouth to retort, and that's why he made a fool out of you, because you were so dumb and naive. The signs were glaring, but you were so deep in love. He mocked me again without any remorse. I felt like I was going to be sick. I bent over, my body heaving as I threw up. I had thought I could handle this conversation, but I was wrong. I felt my heart break all over again, and the pain was almost too much to bear. Tears streamed down my face, and my knees buckled. I sank to the ground, gasping for air, the world spinning around me. After a few minutes, I started to feel a little better. I took a few deep breaths, trying to clear my head. The truth was too much for you to handle, huh? He scoffed and rolled his eyes. I shot him a withering glare. The truth is that you're a dick, I spat. You say you're just being honest, but all you're doing is being cruel. You don't have to be so hurtful to get your point across. I'm just calling it like I see it, he replied, shrugging. I don't sugarcoat things, and I'm not going to start now. There's a difference between being honest and being mean, I pointed out, getting to my feet. If you can't be cautious of the words you utter to me, then I don't want to talk to you. So you're just going to run away, he sneered. You can't even handle a little tough love? I took a deep breath, trying to keep my cool. Whatever you say, I don't care. You know, the truth is I'm just jealous, Tristan said, his voice softening. I was so angry at you for forgiving him so easily, and I took it out on you. I'm sorry. I looked at him, surprised by his sudden change in tone. But why? You claimed that you weren't in love with me. I know that, he said, looking at me intently, but I'm still attached to you, he continued, his voice full of sincerity. We have a history together, and I know that you mean a lot to me. It's hard to see you forgive someone else so easily when I'm still struggling to forgive myself. I looked at him in surprise. I hadn't realized that Tristan was struggling with his own guilt and insecurities. He always seemed like a confident player, but I guess even he had his own struggles. His words didn't really convince me. I had been so disappointed and angry with him, and I didn't really want to have anything to do with him or any of his friends. I had been hurt too many times, and I didn't want to risk getting hurt again. I can't do this, I said, turning away from him. I don't want to be involved in all of this drama. I'm sorry, but I need to take care of myself. I began to walk away, but I felt his hand on my arm, stopping me. I turned to face him, trying to muster up the courage to say what I needed to say. You've treated me so badly, and I just can't forgive you, I maintained. I know you're sorry, but that doesn't change what happened. I need to put myself first. He looked at me, his expression sad and resigned. I understand, he admitted softly. I'm really sorry for everything I've done. I know it's not enough, but I just wanted you to know that. I looked at him, torn between anger and compassion. I wanted to stay mad at him, but I also wanted to believe that he was genuinely sorry. It was a confusing and difficult situation, and I didn't know what to do. I'm not going to ask for your immediate forgiveness, he told me, his voice quiet and broken. I just want you to know that I'm trying to be a better person. I don't want to hurt you or anyone else. I'm sorry. I stood there, my thoughts racing. I wanted to forgive him, but I knew it would take time. I couldn't just move on and forget everything that had happened. I needed to process my emotions, to sort out my thoughts and figure out what I wanted. I couldn't just sweep everything under the rug. I need some time, I said finally, my voice trembling. I need to think about all of this. I can't just forgive you right now. I need space to figure out what I want. He nodded, looking defeated but understanding. I'll give you all the time, but I want you to promise me that if you ever give love a second chance, I'll be your alpha mate. Tristan's words surprised me. I hadn't expected him to ask for another chance. He didn't hurt me as much as Harold did, but I couldn't love him like that before. I'm sorry, but I can't do that, I confessed. I need to move on and start over with someone new. I can't risk getting hurt again. He looked at me, his eyes full of pain, and pleaded, Please, Lexi, I know I've hurt you, but I don't want to lose you. You're the only person who has ever truly seen me, and I don't want to lose that. I know I've made mistakes, but I'm willing to work to make things right. I just need you to give me a chance. My answer remains no. You'll be fine without me. You've so many options, just pick from there. I stood my ground. The heart wants what it wants, I can't disobey it, he countered. I didn't care to respond any further. Removing my eyes from his own, I ran back to the academy.